Kings and Queens, welcome to another episode of A New Perspective. Just Talal and I today. Mike's
Yeah.
internet is not working out too well. So, to you and me, buddy.
Yes, sir. Um, so the subject today that we're going to talk about is called social circles. Um, and the reason I want to talk about this is because like lately I've realized that social circles have such a big impact on your life, um, to yourself and to others. Um, so I kind of just wanted to take this episode and just talk about that and the importance of it. um, because it affects you on multiple levels. It's not just like who you hang out with. It literally affects like a lot of the things that you do, even when you're not with them. Um, so yeah, I just wanted to, Nate, if you want to give your take on it, and then like I can just bounce off of that.
Um, I think you become who you surround yourself with
Yeah,
is the biggest thing. People's habits are gonna rub off on you. And I mean, whether that's good or bad, and really you're in control of that ultimately by choosing the people you hang around with and the people you interact with. If you wanna I don't really want to say necessarily be better. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but
hmm
you're going to surround yourself with people that, push you, challenge you, you know, might be better at certain things than you, etc.
absolutely. And you said because you mentioned that you are who you surround yourself with, and that is important because that's also how other people see you. Like for example, if you're walking around with people that have a bad reputation or reputation of um like let's just take school for example, like they fool around in school and they're not doing that great and stuff like that. If other people find you with them, even if you're not that kind of person, they associate you immediately with them. So you kind of have the same label they do. And it's the same thing for like opposite. Like if you hang out with all um I would like say like just successful people, but like people who care about each other, who care about others. They always like improve themselves. You're gonna improve with them, and then people see you as part of that group that they would admire. Um, and also like the habits that you do, like subconsciously, you kind of want to become like the people you hang out with,
Yeah.
because you guys are just all like one collective unit. So like the habits you have, whether that's good or bad, that's based off of who you associate yourself with. Um, like if I'm having a conversation with somebody, I can tell a lot about the person just by seeing who they hang out with. Um, like kind of who they are, what they like, what they dislike, and I feel like a lot of things can be based off of your social circle. And I feel like these days people are not really paying a lot of attention to it. Um, Especially like I want to say in between like high school and college, because that plays such a big role. Um, because that's when you're kind of like shaping your future, right? You know, you're going into college and then you're like looking for jobs and stuff. Um,
I
and I don't
think
know, I feel like at
I don't mean to cut you off. I think
no, you get
one big thing too, like obviously in high school and things, like you're trying to be successful in some way
yeah,
so you can stand out whenever you graduate. But I don't think, at least most people, anyways, don't really start actually caring about like networking and who they, interact with and things like that. I don't think people really start caring about that until, your second, third year of college. Because even your first year of college, it's like, okay, well, this is all new. And, you're not really, it's kind of the
yeah,
same vibe. You know what I mean?
yeah. And that's why I said like um like for the past so the past 2 years I really like try to improve myself in terms of like who I surround myself with. But the past year especially, it a lot of things changed. Like a complete 180. Like right now I'm probably talking to maybe 3 to 4 people that I would like consider friends. I have only like one best friend. Like my social circle got a lot smaller, but it's a lot more pure, you
And
know?
it doesn't
And
like it doesn't necessarily have to be small. Like I
Yeah,
understand why yours is, just because I
yeah.
know you and everything. Like I
Hmm.
get it, but it doesn't necessarily, you don't have to keep it small.
No, 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 absolutely
Just
not. It's
just
just,
to keep that in mind, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm not saying you need to cut off everybody you know, but it's just I feel like each of us should like take time to kind of just like go through the people we talk to and just like kind of just look at the conversations you have and be like, is this worth it? Like, is this how I want to spend my time?
The biggest
Um,
thing I found when I started cutting a lot of people off was, what real value do these people actually give to my life?
exactly.
And not it's not just about what they give to. What am I giving to them? Like, how am
Hmm.
I helping them? How are they helping me? And it doesn't have to be like, I hate to say it that way, because like it's not all about, me, like what can you give me and all that. But it's like, if I'm putting in all this effort trying to support you and everything, whatever you want to call it, and that's not being reciprocated, why am I wasting my energy and time?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
obviously you don't care.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, so basically what we're trying to say is value your time. And when you value your time, you value the people you spend your time with. And that kind of fixes a lot of things. Um, so think of it like this. I forgot the name of like the person who gave this example. Um, but he was talking to a bunch of college students, and he was like, picture this. You get to have a car, right? And this can be whatever car you want. Like the sky's the limit. But the only catch is that's the only car you ever get. Like that's it. So then he asked, like, what are you gonna do with that? And then he followed up with, like, you're gonna maintain it the best as possible. You're gonna make sure it like never misses an oil change or tire change or whatever that can be. And then he kind of paused for a few moments, and like this is when it kind of just hit me. He said, that's the same thing with you. Like the life you're living right now, that's it. Once it's over, it's over. You can't go back, you can't change, you can't do anything like that. So how how well we value our time and the time we spend, that's basically the maintenance we're doing. You know what I mean? And
I
it's
think, God,
yeah, no, it's just it kind of just hit me a lot, and I think about that a lot because, for example, if I'm spending my time with people that don't really value me as much as I value myself, why would I want to like? That's basically wasting time. That's not really spending time at that point. Um, but yeah.
I think that not only pertains to you and yourself as your own individual and how you live your life, but and I hit on this heavily with the relationships key in the book and in past
Hmm.
podcasts. Relationships just with yourself and with others are an astronomical investment. You're not going to go
Absolutely.
buy a car that's notorious for having, many safety recalls and always breaking down and things like that,
Hmm.
right? You're going to invest in something that's going to do well for you. And in return, like you were saying, you're going to do the maintenance required on your part to help maintain that. So it's a mutual, and that's kind of what I was getting at a little bit earlier.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, it's just social again, and that's basically that falls under the umbrella. Like relationships fall under the umbrella of like social circles
Yeah.
and how much you need to value that. And and also like when you have healthy relationships in your life, and I'm not saying just romantic relationships, like relationships with like friends, family, and stuff like that. You yourself, like it's scientifically proven that you become a happier person, a happier, healthier person when you have a good social life and you surround yourself with people that you love and they love you back. Um, and it pushes you to always become a better person. Like if you're surrounding yourself with people you hate, like subconsciously without you realizing it, you're literally going to become a sadder person. You're just going to become kind of down all the time. You don't really want to like move and go and like go out with these people and stuff. So at that point you just be wasting your time, but you don't know it, you know? Like I'm not saying that you're deliberately just gonna sit there and do nothing
Yeah.
just for the fun of it. That's kind of the habit that you picked up from all the people that you kind of like hang out with. Like any free time they have, they just like sit at home, go on social media, watch like binge watch and stuff. That's what you're gonna do from now on because you kind of condition yourself to do that.
I think for a little less of a surface level example, too, think about it this way. Your relationships with others. I mean, relationships with others is one of the most basic human needs, been tried and tested since Abraham Maslow and to modern day.
Hmm.
Without that proper human interaction and those healthy, supportive relationships, it really hurts your ability to properly integrate into society to interact with others, and ultimately just really affects the way you live your life. And again, that just comes down to, you know, what's your environment? And that really does reflect on, especially in your developmental years. That's where it can be the most detrimental if it's not so good. And at that point, you might not have so much control over that,
Hmm.
but just a little thing to keep in mind, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's and again, like, because not like not to repeat myself, but I just want to emphasize its importance. It's just the people you surround yourself with, it impacts you to the greatest extent, and more than we can imagine too. Um, like me personally, I never realized how much it was impacting me until recently, and I'm almost 23. So like, I kind of took my time with that lesson, but like it's worth it because I'd rather learn that lesson earlier on in my life than spend all these years surrounding myself with the wrong people, and then it clicks when it's too late, you know?
So if you don't mind me asking, because you keep
Yeah,
saying kind of recently,
yeah.
what was the point, or what was it that made you kind of realize that?
So basically, without going into too much detail,
Yeah, I mean,
um, yeah,
obviously.
no, you're good. Um, so there's like a situation that I went into, right? And like it kind of took a lot of it, it drained me emotionally and like mentally. So like I was just all around just tired. I wasn't really active a lot. Um, and that's when I noticed a lot of the people that I was talking to kind of just stopped. They never really like asked about me or like followed up. And these are people that I talk to almost every day.
Mm.
And that's when it hit me. I'm like, okay, I'm here struggling. Like I could use some support. And a lot of these people are kind of just, MIA. And and then like the select few are like still keeping in touch with me. They're like, "Hey, like what's going on? Are you good? You were talking for like the past couple days." And that's when I was like, maybe I need to just completely reevaluate who I associate myself with. And that's when it kind of just clicked in my head. So, I went through like my text messages and Snapchat and Instagram and all that. And I kind of just went through, and the amount of people that I was talking to that I really didn't need to was insane. Like, first off, these were people that I barely see anymore. And second, a lot of these people were still people that I met like freshman year of high school, for example, or like freshman year of college, sorry. So it's already been more than a year since I've last seen them. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna cut off everybody that I don't need to be talking to. And basically that's how I got to the point earlier in the episode I mentioned that I talked to maybe just I can count them on one hand that I call friends, like other than family, of course. And I realized I'm much more of a happier person because I know no matter who I talk to out of these people, they care about me and they'll always like want the best for me and I want the best for them. So it's like you said, it's that mutual connection of like
Yeah.
give and take for each other. Um, but yeah, that was basically when it hit for me.
Good stuff. I don't really have anything else to add, to be honest. I mean, it's a pretty cut and dry, so to speak.
Yeah.
I mean, uh, I'd say the only thing complex about it is you need to do a lot of your own self-reflection and
Hmm.
figure out who you are, what you value, and go from there.
Exactly.
That's the most complicated part about it.
And here's the thing. It's not easy. It's not easy filtering out all of those people. Trust me. Like I know you're gonna sit there and be like, but I talk to them, but like we have like all these like conversations and stuff. But like trust me, like once you get those people out of your life, like the ones you don't need to, don't just cancel everybody. Just kind of be careful with it and grasp the people that you truly care about.
You don't
And
need
you
to
know,
necessarily like burn bridges with anybody.
right,
Just
yeah,
like it's as simple as like if you're the only one reaching out and initiating, just stop,
exactly.
and it
Yeah,
takes care of itself.
I'm not saying you don't have to block everybody. No, I'm just saying just value the time you spend into initiating those conversations. Like spend time initiating conversations with people that like will initiate conversations back. So like it's all back to the whole give and take thing.
Yeah,
And I know it's not easy deciding, hey, I'm not gonna start talking to this person anymore because I noticed that they're not really like doing anything back. That part is not easy, but it's the most important step, and it's the biggest step you'll take. And I feel like once you condition that earlier on, it's gonna be so much later. It's gonna be so much easier like later on to just walk away from a person that's not really valuing you
yeah.
and your time. It's such a big and important step. Um, but yeah, that's basically my biggest take on this.
Yep,
And I
100% agree.
we can't really like sugarcoat it or anything like that. It's just
It
like
is
you
what it
said, it's
is.
just
Like,
exactly.
yeah, I mean,
Um,
yeah.
exactly. So there it is, social
Enough said.
circles. Exactly. Let's I know this episode is short, but it's so important. Like there's a lot of stuff that's been said. Um, and for those that are listening, um, again, if you need help like trying to do this or need somebody to talk to, Nate and I and Mike are all available. 100%. Just literally send us a text on like Instagram and we will be there to support you.
Who knows? You
Um,
could end up being someone I talk to regularly.
exactly. Like what, 2 years ago, I had no idea who you were.
The first day we met, it was for me to show you the preliminary version of my book,
Yeah.
and we met
Yeah,
at a
exactly.
Panera,
It,
I think it
it
was,
was yeah, it was Panera.
under the new dorms or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. So and I had no clue that I was good that this was going to be one of like the most influential of my friends. I had no clue. Like here he is, like he's sending me a book. We're doing a podcast together. This flag, he sent it to me. For those who are seeing the video version, he, yeah, it's such a big impact on my life. So you never know. You really never know. Life's about meeting new people, always, and that's the beauty of it.
I think
But
that's
yeah,
another quick thing too. Like,
hmm
be careful who you invest your time with, but don't be afraid to go talk to new people. And
yeah,
like, you're going to have to invest time up front to get to know somebody to begin with,
exactly.
but you can kind of tell somewhat relatively quickly if it's worth it or
Yeah,
not. So
yeah,
just use your best judgment. I mean, you live and you learn.
exactly. I'm not saying like not every shot you'll take is a bullseye. You're gonna you're gonna miss sometimes. It's fine. You're gonna
You
meet
might
people
hit the
that,
corner of the target,
yeah,
not in the
but
rings, but it's fine.
eventually you're gonna meet some quality people. And you're not gonna meet quality people every single time. That's why they're called quality people.
They're
They're
very
not
rare.
exactly, they're not everywhere. So you kind of just have to go out and just basically look for them. And you never know how or under what circumstances you'll meet them. Um, yeah. I mean, hey, if you're in college, join clubs, join like under your major, go to whatever organization and like clubs they're hosting. You never know the kind of people you'll meet there.
Just try and get involved with others.
Yeah,
Really.
that's basically it. Yeah. Do you have anything to add, Nate? Because I think I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Perfect. So that was it. Social circles. Don't forget to subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Follow us in the description down below.
Please and thank you.
And yeah, please and thank you. Manners. And yeah, peace out.